Hey, everybody, and we are here to finish the Fred trilogy. That's right, you thought we would never do it, but we're here. It's Mumkey, Aggie, Hans, and LowRes.
It's us.
That's right.
Should we
Hello.
start again?
You want to do a take two?
But we can do a take two. I
All
think there
right.
was a little energy lacking from Hans, really. I think I'm going to blame that one on him.
Yeah.
Certainly it wasn't me.
All
Hey,
right.
everybody,
I
welcome.
can.
Good.
Fuck.
Good
Sorry.
going. Great.
I'll try. I'll give you energy. Okay. Okay. I'm ready. All right.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Hey, everybody. We should just mute Hans ourselves.
Yeah. There's too many fake outs here. Okay. Hans is in. He's in the quiet corner now.
Okay, I got it. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Movies, a podcast about the act of cinema / Is It Kino, a podcast about me and Aggie. And we are here to finish what we started, the Fred trilogy, as part of our series on YouTuber short films and long films. I, of course, am Simeon Jimmy, joined as always by my co-host, Aggie.
That's right. They had a beautiful song in this movie, All About Me. I really appreciated it. It's at the end. It's one of the better parts of the film, in my opinion. So I really appreciated that. Happy to be here.
And you can choose which one you like better for who to introduce next.
Well, listen, I mean, look at those beautiful eyes. It's like a child asking for candy in the back of my white van. Take it away, Hans.
Hey, hello, Figgle fags. Welcome to
Whoa!
episode 3 of the Figglestein party.
Figglestein, interesting you say that because there is a subplot about Fred having a conspiracy theory that a rat man is eating children in a secret tunnel. Literally, the plot of this 2012 children's film filled with lots of 69s. And who enjoyed it more than low-res Wonder Bread?
Probably nobody, because I'm gonna have a controversial statement here that this might be the best YouTuber movie we've covered to date. And I'm just really happy that we're also breaking new ground by having the first Tom Arnold film in the history of movies. And maybe Is It Kino?
He was cast as the potential Jewish pedophile in the Fred movie, so I'm glad he's here.
He is very, it's almost, it's like punching down. It's too easy to say he's child molestery, but he really is child molestery in this movie.
Well, it's intentional. Like
Yes.
he says, I want to pee on you to the children probably 20
Yeah.
times.
That
I
was a
think he
little-
calls an Asian boy delicious at one point and kisses his head.
And he said, our team has lost the Camp Olympics 69 times. And they keep saying that.
Is this a Nickelodeon movie?
I don't know because I noticed for the first time, maybe, that there was a Lionsgate studio logo in front of the film, but it does feel more sexual. I thought that Lucas Kershank, I think that's his name, maybe he was just like really horny when he was making this because I noticed an influx of shirtless guys, very buff, shirtless guys.
He's gay. That's right. Oh, man. So there is hope for us, Aggie. Threesome with Fred.
This 23-year-old man playing a child, wanting to have a lot of shirtless men to, satisfy his sexual appetite in a children's summer camp movie. It is what it is.
Was he only 23 in this movie? Because he
No,
looked...
maybe he's 20. No, I think it's 2012. I think that tracks. Maybe like 24, somewhere in that ballpark.
He
He's
looks
late
a lot
80s,
old.
right?
He looks a lot older than all those children.
Well, yeah. I was going to say in this movie, not a lot of time has passed since Fred 2 or even Fred 1. They made them once a year, but for some reason, and I think it's really just by proxy of being around so many clearly young teenagers, Fred looks especially old in this movie. Kevin looks old too. Kevin looked even older than Fred. But it's a very aged Fred we're getting here for Fred 3 Camp Fred.
Well, they even got rid of his bowl cut too, right? So he doesn't even have that
Well,
that
they
haircut
reveal at the
anymore.
beginning he's actually bald, completely bald on top, and wears a toupee, which I had to stand up and clap for that. He's a balding middle schooler, I guess.
He's bringing real life into his film? Is that what's happening?
It was my real life, so I don't know about
Was that the
everybody,
joke? Because I think in Fred 2, we did point out that he had like a bald spot. So maybe that was the joke for the
Yeah,
script
he
in Fred
must have been
3.
going bald at this point. The swoop was probably intentional the entire time, but now it's starting to get noticeable. And there's not a Fred 4. There was plenty of room for Fred 4 where you could go from here. And here's the first thing I'll say about this that's going to be flattering to Fred 3 is they actually did something with the Fred character that wasn't just, hey, the first movie was a success. What can we do? I don't know. He's going to stay in his neighborhood again and go to school, and there's a vampire, maybe. It was so not thought out, that second Fred movie. I was very disappointed by it. Fred 3 realizes, hey, you can kind of treat this character like Ernest or Ace Ventura, and you can pluck him out of his environment and put him somewhere else, and he'll have more things to do. And I think comedically and story-wise, it works a hell of a lot better than Night of the Living Fred.
Yeah, I'll give you this. I won't say it's the best YouTuber movie because that's insane when I've seen Mass State Lottery, of course.
Oh, stop. You know,
That's
someone
at least
trolled me
exciting.
right before the show saying, hey, it got uploaded to the Costa Rican theater, YTS.mx, and my heart stopped for a second.
Oh.
These fucking rotten bastards in my Discord.
So it was not posted.
No, it was not. And I did like
It
several
might have been
checks.
E-Rich.
They're
E-Rich had
blaming a
that
lot of
link.
people. They said Kenny uploaded it at first, you know, which I could
Along
almost
with a
believe.
picture of his cock.
Yes, yeah, maybe the imposter Kenny. There was, yeah. I got a weird message from. I'll tell you guys about it
Uh-oh.
off air, maybe.
But to continue my point,
Yeah.
I'll say it is the best Fred movie for sure, and I think they are in order from worst to best in terms of release. What other trilogy goes 3, 2, 1 from best to worst?
Good question. Maybe Lord of the Rings.
Hmm.
That might be the
I
only
mean-
one. Usually they fall off with that third movie. People don't jive with the third movie.
I think we're being very nice to this picture.
Because it's a good picture.
movie.
It's a good movie, Hans.
I think the best one of the three when it comes to Fred movies is not much of a compliment because
Definitely not.
the only difference between this and the other movies is that there's kind of a plot here ish. They go
And
to a
there's
camp.
music.
They go to a camp where they don't really do camp things. They're just kind of there and hang out, and then there's a group of friends that are just stereotypes, right? You have the nerd, you have the fat, you
No,
have
no,
the
no, no,
Asian
no.
lady.
Hans, let me blow your mind here. They use the stereotypes to their advantage to subvert your expectations because the big fat white kid is not the one who loves eating. The little Asian girl is constantly stuffing her face. Hmm?
Well,
Huh?
he
And
loves
fat,
eating. It's off
no,
screen,
fat kids
just like
probably liked math. They just couldn't put it in the script.
no, he eats, but off screen, just like she shits off screen, which is why she's not fat and he is.
And there was another one when Kevin is rapping at the end, he's really
Oh yeah.
bad. Then he passes
Uh,
it to the black guy, and the black guy's even worse. I thought that was great.
You know, there is a wigger fetishism that seems to be the undercurrent of the movie that really comes about with Kevin. But early on, you'll notice, and I actually thought this was kind of a funny visual gag, that Fred's mom is wearing like a gold chain that says single on her neck, on her person. So you have hints of it. It's almost like they allocated a lot of the budget to wigger attire and threw that in.
well, it's 2012. It makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
I was about to say the same
Sure.
thing, Hans.
Yeah, perfect time for that. I mean, Night of the Uyghur Fred will be the movie that I'd like to watch.
Well, I watched this on YouTube, which came with ads sprinkled throughout, and I kept getting ads for community colleges with women who were white but tried to look black. So they would have like the braids and everything, but they were white. And this was for online community college.
So you're gonna sign up right away?
Yes. I got to get that associate's degree, of course.
Can we do a real thought experiment here? Like, I really want the brain trust to get their creative juices flowing. Because LowRes, you were saying, where's Fred 4? Well, I look into my camera here, or slightly below it, and I see Hans. And I wonder, could we make Fred 4 a real movie? Hans playing Fred as an older man. He's gone bald all the way, not just having to wear that toupee anymore. We can do the sound of his voice. It's very
You're
easy
gonna
to
have to.
imitate.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what
can't.
plot would we want to do for older Fred, played by Hans?
Well, played by
still-
Hans it could be a very dark movie, I think.
I think it should be. Because this is a
There's
Fred
some-
he's past his prime. He's not at camp anymore. He's graduated. Maybe Kevin
a-
died of cancer. Doesn't even have a rival anymore.
Still a virgin at 40. Yeah.
Wow.
Still in the closet at 40.
That camp
yeah.
counselor might have taken care of that, actually.
Maybe we go meta with it, and instead of being this Fred YouTube online sensation, he's more like Ed Rem. Do you guys know Ed Rem from back in the early days of YouTube?
No.
Well, I think Hans is getting close to Ed Rem's age. Hans, do you want to pull up him doing the Scrubs theme song or something on YouTube? I feel like that would be the progression of that character in some way, although maybe a little more flamboyant.
Is that how you pronounce his username?
I think it's Ederem.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be like Pee-wee in his Netflix movie.
Well, it's a little Pee-wee-esque in that, you know, he was caught doing things with...
That's Hans's age right
Yeah,
now.
you think this is Hans?
How many?
This guy has way more hair than Hans.
Better
You
skin.
know what I mean? From the let's stop this here.
This guy was a classic YouTube
Theme song to
icon
Scrubs.
in
How many of you
2010,
know
2011,
when
around the Fred
Batman
time,
was Superman?
the Fred era.
Superman.
How many of those teeth do you think are real?
I'm no Superman. Now you know.
If he had
it's
fake
kinda
teeth, why would he
hard
have one missing?
Because
No, because
It's
look,
not
hold on.
part of
I,
the-
I
I'd
noticed
say
something.
probably
easy
31.
thing to do to come in for that.
Like you
thing.
noticed something here that I used to see with my
Yeah.
granddad who had like 3 teeth.
Now you know.
He's
if-
wearing one of those bridges that have like the big cable, and that usually has like 3 or 4 teeth attached to it.
Okay.
There. See, so I think he probably
Is this what
has.
Troll Face is based on?
It's probably has. Yeah, that's the look. Is that one playing on Fred 4?
This is well, we're gonna model the appearance of
Okay.
later Fred off of Ederem. Now with Ederem, he got in trouble back in the day. That's why he went to YouTube. They looked into his arrest history, and he solicited sexual favors off a person under the age of 14. This
So we're not
sullied.
doing that with the Fred plot, though.
Well,
right?
you know, maybe you have something lighter than that where he gets in trouble, he gets arrested. And then, like Pee Wee Herman, maybe it's in a theater, you know, he's watching a film. You can allude to it, but you got to be tongue in cheek with it. You can't be on the nose and say he's a pedophile.
No,
right?
I think it's got to be he can't hold his pee, and then he peed in public. Oh, he's a sexual offender now.
Yeah, I
That
think
kind of
something
thing.
like that would absolutely work for this character.
Maybe
He
Is
it's
this
on
the
a-
same guy?
No, this is his wife apparently.
Oh.
He
it might be
peed-
a makeup.
Same guy, his wife.
He didn't realize that there was a child on the ground when he was peeing, and then he's like, "Oh no, I just peed on a child," and that's
Well, in
why
Fred 2, a child peed in his face. So I think in Fred 4, it would be echoing, like rhyming.
you go.
Well, it's
poetry.
Camp I Want a Pee-Pee.
Oh, yeah, it's Fred 3.
Occasionally, other popular YouTube channels will post an episode about this channel. I debated whether I should do this, but there's a couple of items I'd like to address due to the responses I see. First, several of those commentaries are not pronouncing the name correctly. It is Muscari, not Muscare. Next, Marissa is a grown woman. Ed never met her. Marissa's fiance contacted Edward and asked him to make the birthday video. She felt quite honored, so please respect her gift. The girl that got away is a reference to the tornado she escaped from. Several comments lately have been quite nasty due to one of these other channels that I
The
felt it was
incident.
time to say something. Finally, concerning the incident from 1986, from the things I read, too many assume they know the most intimate facts in detail. Most of these assumptions are inaccurate. Others are spreading rumors about things that never even happened.
LowRes.
Edward was not the sum of his past mistakes.
He's
Yep.
He
dead?
was very
Yeah,
precious
he
to
died
me
like
and worthy of
15
the
years
love I
ago.
gave
He
him.
died a while ago.
And
I
we're
mourn
here
his
to
passing
besmirch
every
the
moment of
dead,
my
LowRes?
Those who steal for the-
We're honoring Ederem. We wanted to borrow his character and apply that to Fred, but dark Fred.
Insults toward other
Yeah,
viewers.
he died of intoxication. He drank too much child's piss. And then he died. Rest
So
in
here's
peace.
my idea for Fred 4, where Hans plays Edward Mascari. So we have this character in Fred 3. His name is Scary Gary, and he's this misunderstood. I think he's a freak, possibly some kind of cannibal, a grave digging freak that airs his moldy socks out in public.
So we know
So
what role
Hans,
Eggy's gonna play in the movie.
no, Hans as Fred Figglehorn Sr. In an Edward Mascari appearance, he just keeps on accidentally, same way that Fred in this movie, he does towards the, well, I shouldn't say towards the climax, but I guess kind of in the beginning of the climax of the film, he looks at the camera and he goes, "This is where I would usually screw everything up, but it's a good thing I didn't. Oh no, I just screwed everything up." So it's going to be Hans looking like this as old Fred. He's the janitor at the camp, and he keeps accidentally almost committing sex crimes against the youth that are there. Like he like reaches out to grab his mop, and all of a sudden like a kid like falls in front of him, and he like starts accidentally almost groping the kid. He's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to grope that child. Oh, it's a good thing I did. Ooh, that was a close one."
And all the kids are played by LowRes with the propeller hat on.
I think this
win.
is great.
I think we got the fourth best installment of the Fred extended universe.
You know,
Act 1 and 2 are already set.
An element we could absolutely add on to in this movie, Camp Fred, for the first time, we have it confirmed that John Cena is a total fabrication of Fred's imagination.
I
Because
had a pretty good idea in Fred 1. To be
yes,
fair.
of course, it was never a doubt in anyone's mind that John Cena was not his father. But here's what they do in this movie that they didn't do in the first two. You have a moment where Fred is yelling at him into a fridge, and then you cut back to the fridge, and the fridge is empty, and he's still yelling. They don't confirm clearly like that in the first two movies. So he has some sort of schizophrenic delusions. By the time that he's Edoram's age, who knows what the hell Fred is seeing that he thinks, he can communicate with, or he has to ward off from the other campers. It could be a very sinister, maybe even hallucinogenic situation for older Fred.
Yeah, I want to take it to the next step for you, LowRes. So he's a kid here, and his fantasy is John Cena is his father figure because he doesn't have a father in his life. Older Fred, maybe he craves being a parent, and he has a fantasy child who he sees with him. Instead of John Cena, you make it really creepy and sad.
This is sounding like Terrifier 2 now.
Yeah, the little clown girl who shits on the floor of the laundromat.
Well, no, you have to make it like the little man, right? So it's just John Cena with his giant head with a baby's body.
Well, there is a midget
Cena?
wrestler, right? Who can you get? Who's the one? He played Leprechaun recently.
I don't know midget wrestlers. Damn. Some Mexican.
Show called The Seven Little Johnstons. I think they're all media trained. You could probably get one of them.
Yeah, they look kind of freakish.
Do you guys know that there's a Fred animated series called It's Fred?
No.
Was that on Nickelodeon?
No, it was on his YouTube channel.
Oh.
And he looks like absolute.
What is the year on this animated series?
13 years ago.
Okay, so we're going to see Flash animation.
Yeah. It's hideous.
Is that the frame rate or is that Costa Rican Wi-Fi?
No, Hans's video has been terrible lately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have to talk. We're gonna adopt a kid. Judy's parents want to adopt?
Okay, you want stepsister incest? Okay, that's a good plot for this cartoon.
It's crazy to think how big this character actually was, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was just. This is like the children's version of that Andy Samberg humor that was popular around the same time, of like wacky, random lulls, And I think it makes sense why Fred would be popular, and especially so on Nickelodeon.
I don't know. It's weird because I grew up on Nickelodeon and I was never into that. The shows that they put out before were a lot different than this thing.
See, when we were, us mid-30s is when we were teenagers. That's when they first started prescribing Adderall and Ritalin. So by the time that the Fred generation was getting into watching internet shows, like in 2012, they had iPads, they had Ritalin. I mean, their brains were fried immediately. They had Instagram, all this different stuff. So I think the taste shifted right away. Because I remember like Charlie the Unicorn. That was when I was I think probably like a junior or a senior in high school. I was like, wow, everybody who enjoys this should probably die. And now people, oh, that was so late nostalgia. It's like,
They
no,
took his kidney, dude. You did not see that coming. You have to admit. And then it happened again. Oh my god. How many of those dang things does he have?
Can you think of
maybe.
any other short videos like that from around that time? Because the only one I can think of is Howie's baby form. We
Well,
was
that was
just
Kino though, actually.
remember that one with the caveman?
No.
Something awful narration videos. That was actually real Kino. And E-Bomb, well, not E-Bomb's World, Albino Black Sheep. That was real humor back in my day. But then you got these Fred Figglehorns and all this Charlie the Unicorn and all this stuff that's taken the world by storm. Wasn't for me. Maybe it's because I was an adult at that point, but who could say?
So if the Fred animated series launched, you said 13 years ago, that would have been
Yeah.
within like the same period of time as the last Fred movie. It kind of sounds to me like Lucas was getting fed up with playing Fred, and that was his way out. Was, well, now it's animated. I can only do the voice. I can do the
Yeah,
voice.
even in the movie, there's a dream sequence where he's talking normally and says, "Oh, yeah, that voice
Yeah.
was getting old and annoying anyway."
Yeah,
And
so
then he
he's
has to
starting
wake
to
up and keep
feel.
doing it like his waking nightmare.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's the first time we actually, I think, hear his natural voice. Because even when you have the alternative character that Lucas introduces, he's still got like a voice modulation where it's like a deep voice, And I think it's just one of these situations where maybe he was going through like what Joji went through, where he was so engrossed in being that character that it was affecting his psychology. And he was like, nah, I can't do it any longer. And the alternative avenue didn't take.
I think there is something that a lot of artists go through where they no longer want to be famous for the thing that they're famous for. I mean, we've talked about Nostalgia Critic a million times. And then eventually they realize, well, I mean, getting famous for anything at all is better than most people get. So fuck it. I guess I just have to re-embrace it and go back. Is he going to have to put on the Fred wig again in the future to pay the bills?
I predict yes.
Oh,
Has he been doing that, or is it just this gay vlog?
I think what I expect is for him to do that and for it to not work because the audience, I don't even know if there's a nostalgia for Fred.
No, I don't think so.
So this is
Maybe
the
he's so
closest
rich
thing
he
to
doesn't
it.
need it.
Yeah.
So he's got travel vlogs, I guess, is what he's up to now. Him and his gay boyfriend go on travel vlogs and stay at Disney. Oh,
mean,
Disney of
We
Vegas.
probably
Sorry.
watched some of these last time.
How's the
Yeah.
viewership on the videos?
I mean, 100K plus for all of them.
Yeah,
Almost.
every video makes more views than like my whole channel's get in months.
Yeah. But he does have 3.3 million subscribers though. So that's kind of
So
low
really, my
for that.
ratio's better than his, and he should kill
Yeah.
himself.
Hans,
Yep,
is this
I-
the same YouTube channel he used to put out the Fred videos on though?
No, he sold that one.
Okay.
That one has like they turned it into a channel where children interview other children.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get some kind of residual from that, to be honest. I just can't see him like being the 36-year-old man and trying to play like a gay teenager. I mean, I just don't think it's good. If he's still able to get like 1 to 200,000 views being a Disney adult and talking about gay sex or whatever he talks about, I'm sure that's a more appetizing avenue for him at this point.
Do you think his boyfriend makes him do the Fred voice?
Yep, the Bro Show podcast is back. And it's better than
this his
ever.
husband
Jacob is
or
a
his
crazy
wife or his
20-something who
brother?
always has a story to tell. It's just so
His
fun
hairline
to
doesn't look
remember.
bad.
Hookup after hookup
I
after
apologize for the
hookup.
volume.
I'm
I
a
can't- I have to
20-something.
change it.
Lucas has so
How about
many
instead of his
stories
husband
about
making him do the Fred
Hollywood.
voice, how about his husband uses a normal, like, non-mentally disabled voice? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm
It-
Fue Husband.
It is confusing to have two men together with the same last name, and then it's called the Bro Show. Am I wrong to assume they're brothers? Like they could have called it the Husband Show. You
He also
fucking
looks a
moron.
lot like him
He
too.
looks a lot like him. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he Libra.
So
I
maybe
feel
we're
like we
wrong.
pulled this channel up before, and we initially thought the husband was Fred.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh my God, why is he so fucking loud? I'm kind of curious to find out if that's his,
To
his
Am I
Australia
brother.
curious
without
looking at this?
house right now.
Okay, so I was going to bring up today what I've
I
been
think
wanting
they're
to mention
brothers.
to them. So
I
you
don't think
guys,
they're
have you ever like
Hold
thought
on,
about
so
doing drag shows and
Lucas
stuff?
No, I don't
isn't
think so.
gay?
I don't have any plans.
No, he is.
No, he has to be.
But he's doing content with his brother.
That's as straight
Yeah.
as it gets.
Wait, we have shows in Des Moines. What?
How weaves
You should definitely go to that. You
Oh,
guys got to
man.
go and
Oh,
report
shit,
back.
That was a year ago.
That
Oh,
person,
Also,
no, the video is that they asking them to do drag shows. That comment said that there's drag
Oh.
shows in Des Moines where
Oh fuck! Never mind.
no, I think that's totally fair. Hans and I went to Ralph's movie. You guys have to go to Fred's drag show.
He said he's not going to do it. His mom grilled him, and he said no
Have you guys noticed how every time he's I think we made this point last time now that I did, but you know how every time he's outside he's wearing a hat?
because he's bald as fuck.
As a,
No, he's bald right there with his dog. Look.
as a follicle impaired person, that's a trick that that someone that's insecure about their hair, especially when it's a pink juicy hat that doesn't really seem to fit any he's wearing.
You
It's
think
just
he
like,
would wear
oh.
a beanie to the White House?
No, he would wear like a rhinestone hat. He's classy.
So less insecure than a beanie.
Yeah. So let's hope that within the next 10 years we got Fred Ford and it's not me.
I think there's a good chance it's you, Hans.
Okay.
I
Well,
think if he's willing to sell the Fred YouTube channel, maybe he'll sell the Fred name.
That's got to be in public domain soon. It's been a while.
I mean, it could just be a character named Fred who resembles that Fred, and we
He
never
talks like a
explicitly
retard.
say Fred Figglehorn.
Fred Fagglehorn.
Then it's
There you go.
parody.
Yeah, just introduce him as Frederick at first, and then never mention that again. The Rick part, just call him Fred from there on.
Hans, do you want to practice the voice and the mannerisms and the spasticness?
not really.
No?
No.
Well, I mean,
No,
I think LowRes pays
have
your
to-
bills, so I guess it's up to him to demand you to do it.
I have to do a lot of method acting, so I have to go and suck a couple, to get
Okay.
that throat on that level, because my throat can't bend that way.
Any
My-
volunteers?
so I need to go suck a couple, swallow a couple of things that would cover my vocal cords with that Fred glaze to be able to get that high.
The Fred
pitched.
glaze.
Because otherwise, I'm too much of a man to sound like that. So
Well, anybody,
yeah.
any of the three of us on this podcast could just take this is not live. We could take your audio and speed it up so you sound like Fred by the time it comes out.
That's a good idea.
That's a good point.
That would sounds like an unbearable idea for anyone trying to enjoy the show.
Just a whole episode to just speed up my voice.
Or just pitch it up.
I can just imagine 5 minutes and that's it. I can imagine anyone getting past that shit for an hour.
You know, on the topic of Lucas treating this Fred movie with a very meta approach, I feel like there was an abundance of Chinese campers with emo swoosh hair in this movie.
You think he was trying to appeal to the Chinese market, like Iron Man 3?
Iron Man
Which
3
this
was
came
around
out one
this
year
time?
before
Mm,
Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 actually copied Fred 3 in terms of appealing to Chinese people.
that might
I
have
mean-
been a note from Lionsgate if they took this theatrical.
And you know how Chinese people are very loud.
Chinese people like you?
Wild. Yeah, when they're on screen. Otherwise, we're very respectful and chill. But those Chinese shows when they go and shit. So I can
That's just
see.
their language. Okay, it's got pointedness to it. Sometimes this is just, well, I worked around a lot of Asian people once at a job that I had, and they would say sometimes it sounded maybe a little animalistic. I never said that though. It's some other people said, but it's called passion, all right? And it's a beautiful thing. It's cultural, and I love it.
Yeah, you said that Asians are the most passionate gamblers when you go to the casino too, right, Aggie?
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's why they have all these red Chinese dragon slot machines. They love doing all this on the
Yes.
screen.
Do they
When they lose
spit?
hands, they go. That's what it sounds like. I don't know what the words are, but that's what they sound like.
So
Do they spit on the floor, Eggy?
I think I might have seen a dealer get spit on or spit
Oh.
at once before. The thing is that you'll have a lot of I'm not culturally educated, but you'll have like 5 different Asian people at a table, and like they're all from different countries. So like once they find out that like one Asian is from another country, like they have like a ancient history, like where they hate each other,
Oh
and they
yeah.
get really feisty with each other and really ferocious. If like one, takes a bad card or stands like on blackjack, or somebody plays wrong or whatever, they get up and they're like immediately in each other's faces and just like oh, he said Vietnamese, I'm dog. You say I am Mandarin dog or whatever, and like starts like yelling at the dealer and security and whatever else and stuff like that. I don't know. I can't speak whatever they're speaking, but it
So
is what it
I
is.
want to piggyback off this, Aggie, because if we want Fred 4, much like Fred 3, to have an abundance of Asian representation, maybe adult Fred is often going to the casino, and maybe he gets involved in this little Asian civil war of different cultural backgrounds, yelling at each other across the baccarat table. And adult Fred, maybe that's like his plot, is trying to navigate that and find peace.
Looking at the camera. Okay, so I don't know which side to pick. I don't know which one's really right or wrong. And they start
I
doing
can't
like
even
kung
tell them
fu.
apart.
Everybody was kung fu fight. Like how he does the rap with the crocodile or whatever in this one. He
Yeah.
starts like doing a rap with like a imperial dragon like dancer on the background.
With like
It's
ninja
like the
dance move choreography, like throughout the
with the
casino on top of the tables. The Asians are joining in.
yeah, they dance with dogs and
Chickens,
then
I
they
ain't
eat
no
them.
rookie. I snap you up like a fortune cookie.
Hans, are you on board now? Does it sound better?
I mean, it sounds closer to my roots, so maybe that's how I
Better than
honor
LowRes's
them.
idea? No, whose idea? Aggie or LowRes? Who said he should be molesting the kids at the camp by
That was
mistake?
Aggie.
No, it would be a lot of like close calls for comedic effect because obviously it's a very
Yeah.
touchy subject, no pun intended.
I think
Yeah.
what we're looking at here is maybe a new trilogy of Fred films.
Adult Fred trilogy. Rated R.
Well, clearly, if he's working for the camp, he gets fired from the camp, and that's why he goes to the casino so he can win his money back.
Does
You
he
could do
take off
that
his
in 2
wig?
movies or in 5 minutes.
Do you think he takes off his wig as soon as he gets to the casino? He can
Ooh.
finally be the real
I think
him?
it should be no more wig. He's
Okay.
just embraced being bald.
It just came to my mind right now. Okay, so he's the janitor. He has these close call comedic molestation. Like, oh, whoa, there's so many kids. Oh, he gets fired. He goes to the casino, and he's like playing in a tournament, and it's like the World Series of Poker kind of thing, where like you have your match for the day, then you go back, and on the final day, all the kids come into the casino. Fred, we just turned 18. All the charges are dropped, and then he like has the winning hand, and
Is that,
he.
is
That's
how
how the
it
law
works?
works in the Fred universe.
They're all
Hey, we
cheering him
forgive
on.
you, Fred.
So if
We
you just go into
forgive
hiding
you.
for long enough, you can rape any child. What's
Those
say at
obviously
18 you're
false
free?
accusations. It is what it is.
Yeah.
When Fred comes back from Israel, where they were protecting him from from being a veto.
The judge is looking at her like, well, I don't see a child here, so how could he have?
Does Fred find love? Is there room for a Mrs. Fred?
Well, does his love interest, the Judy or whatever her name is, does she come back? Maybe she's down on her luck. Maybe she's kind of like Amy Smart's character in the bad versions of the Butterfly Effect future. Maybe she's a prostitute of some kind, and that's how Fred finally gets it in, as he pays for it.
Well, given that you have Tom Arnold in this movie, Camp Fred, maybe there's room for that Judy character as she gets older to be played by Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, she's not doing much else, right? Just Daily Wire cartoons.
I think, yeah, was she on the New Norm? Maybe she wasn't, but She should be. So I think there's probably an opportunity for that. I know she's got a podcast she's doing.
Did you know season 2 of New Norm evidently came out, but no pirate
What?
website will
I didn't know
post it?
season 1 came out. I've only seen the
Oh, not New
opening
Norm.
clip.
No, my bad. I'm thinking of what's the King of the Hill
Mr.
ripoff that they're doing?
Brickleberry or
Mr.
Bruckle or
Beercum.
Wood
Bertram.
Bertram, yeah. A season 2 of that came out. Nobody bothered to post it to the pirate websites.
I mean,
I wanted
who's
to watch it.
pirating? Yeah, pirating you just pay for it. Daily
Fuck
Wire
no.
Plus. How much is
Kino
it?
Corner told me once you sign on, they don't let you sign off.
Oh, it's one of those.
You
Yeah,
had to call them on the phone.
Yep.
Oh, you got to talk to an Indian person on the
Fuck
phone.
that. I'm not going to give
it's
Israel 1 penny.
it's only $15 a month. Jesus fucking Christ, $15 a month
That's
for
worth
their
it for
shit.
Mr. Bertram.
Damn, that's so much for what they have to offer.
And mind you, if you have like a Fire Stick from Amazon, I don't believe they have an app in that store. So you got to have like you got to have like a Roku. Otherwise, you're fucked. Otherwise, you're just watching it on the website.
Yeah, on the browser.
Yep.
On whatever browser.
You got to download the internet browser on your TV in order to watch the Daily Wire app.
Damn, this is rough. So
Where was Joe Rogan and Tim Pool? I thought that they were ending cancel culture, for goodness sake.
I love that if you just look at this image, there's no one thing that I would want to pay $15 for. It's
Judged
just,
by Matt Walsh.
I don't even know what that is. But I guess he's like the face of the whole
Judge
channel. Because
Judy.
you got, am I racist? You got Lady Ballers here. You got.
Where's Shut In? They don't have Shut In?
Nope.
They sold Shut
Not
In.
even here.
What the fuck
Not
is
even
the
here.
comments section? That looks terrible. But I would put up a poster of Ben Shapiro with facts. I would just hang that up ironically. But I'm sure it's probably not very good.
Did you want to hear Jordan Peterson's squeaky voice talk about the Bible for 100 hours? That's
Oh.
fun.
Judge Matt Walsh.
Like Claven? What is this? What is this supposed to be? Claven, LA? LA Claven?
I think that's Edarim.
Oh.
Is that one of the Fox News hosts that Donald Trump made like a department head of something?
He's the old
is
guy
that-
that works for Daily Wire that used to be a screenwriter. He wrote Shock to the System, I think the movie was called, with Michael Caine. That's what he's
What
known
is their
for.
is this their show where it's like the four horsemen of the Daily Wire talking about pop culture things? You know what I'm talking about? Michael Knowles.
Kind of like we're the four horsemen of YouTuber movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see it announced here, so I wonder, no one is it canceled already? Oh, sorry guys. I forgot that
The
you
Children's
get
Archive.
the Children's Archive for
The fuck are these properties?
So they launched a bunch of kids' TV shows that nobody's ever heard of or ever watched, like Chip Chilla. And they're apparently a roaring success, but obviously you can't trust a goddamn thing that comes out of the Daily Wire since they're about to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should sign
Sell
up
Fred
on
Ford to the Daily Wire.
Oh, what would that be like?
Maybe they'll
Yeah.
distribute Fred 4 for us.
Well, all of their movies have that liberal kick to them of, it's an empowered woman fighting back against an abusive man. So it wouldn't be off the reservation if they took Gay Fred and then put that out as like, yeah, this is conservatism.
I like how Fred's character is canonically straight until he's played by Hans.
Hans can't play a straight character to save his life.
He's a bad actor.
Yeah. I gotta play myself on everything.
Eggy, what were you about to say?
Well, maybe I could get a prepaid Visa card for like $15 or however much Daily Wire is a month, and then when they will never let me cancel, it'll just automatically fizzle out after 1 month anyway.
So we can binge
Oh,
all their
yeah.
children's cartoons?
Yeah, I'm sure you can go to Target and get one of those Daily Wire cards that I'm sure they have selling there.
Yeah.
I'm sure
An
that's
Indian guy
there.
called me on the phone and said I needed a $50 Daily Wire gift card to pay for my utility bill.
Mr. Bertram, after Donald Trump gets elected, I'm sure season 2 is super Kino. Probably just sucking that Cheeto the whole entire season.
Yeah, they probably got into their groove in season 2 of Mr. Bircham.
His son is a gamer? Oh man, isn't that funny?
Who, Adam Carolla?
Yeah. No, Tyler Fisher plays his son because he's young.
Oh, well, didn't he just get kicked off of everything for flirting with a woman or trying to rape a woman or trying to marry a woman? I don't remember. He did something bad, and then he got banned from Fox News and a bunch of conservative outlets.
Is he done?
Maybe it's just like the plot of Fred 4. He accidentally fell into a woman and it looked like he was trying to assault her, and everybody was like, whoa. And he's like, no, oh no, I messed up again. Oh
It could
no.
be
Mr.
that.
Bertram comes out.
Yeah, he's saying that Fox News went woke and fired him and blacklisted him.
What is the
Because
what is the accusation?
it says that his only crime was innocently asking the woman out for coffee. He said, I introduced myself. I said, hey, I'm Tyler. I need to get going to the show to film, but would you ever get coffee sometime? And that's it.
Who did he ask out? Is it Rupert Murdoch's wife?
It just says a young female employee.
How young?
I mean, she works
Old
there.
enough.
Is this an Ed Muscari situation? Is his only crime truly loving?
It says that security grabbed him and he was escorted out of Fox.
Wow.
They had security escort him out? So his story's bullshit.
Pick him up.
There's no way. There's no way a security guard is removing him from the Fox News building if it's as simple as that.
Well, he said,
oh, you're not even 6 feet tall. You have to come with us.
I've seen Aggie removed from places for far less. He wanted to just throw the empty can back to the bartender so that they could dispose of it. I thought it was innocent. And we all got kicked out. It's not fair. Sometimes hothead security guards just want to kick somebody out.
Yeah, he said, I will not allow... hold on. It is beyond tragic to see men hide away in fear. I, for one, will not allow it to happen to me. And he was blacklisted, so I guess he allowed it to happen. So I guess it did. There was no much you could
Should I do a harsh pivot and ask Aggie if he had any Sinners thoughts he wanted to share with LowRes now that we're all here and we all saw Sinners except for Hans?
Oh, yeah. I will see it. Not yet, but not out yet here. But
well, that's the question. Should Hans even bother seeing it?
Probably not.
I think it's a bad movie, but at the same time, it's not one of these movies where I feel like I have a need to clown on it like a Working Man. A Working Man was like really horrible. Sinners, I can still appreciate. Okay, this isn't a franchise movie yet. It will be, especially with how much money it's making now. It's going to be a long-running series, I'm sure. But it's still coming from somebody's distinct individual voice. I just think all the decisions in it were terrible decisions to make.
I respect it on the level of being an original film, but it's got a lot of stupid ideas that should have been cut out. Like the subplot of the guy who sold us this place that we're turning into a juke joint is actually the grand leader of the KKK, and all the KKK boys are going to come shoot up the joint. But then they show up like at 2 p.m. on a weekday when nobody's fucking there. Why would they not show up at night when all the black people are partying? Like fucking retarded.
There's a lot like that. I mean, there's also that Chinese woman who's bartending, who's like, oh no, he's gonna, because her husband gets turned into a vampire, and she's like, he's gonna go after her, our daughter. But then she proceeds to let herself get burnt to death while staking her husband, so her daughter has no parental figures at all. You're letting yourself burn to death. Like, there's so many stupid character decisions. There's no real rhyme or reason to the vampirism. It kind of comes out of nowhere, aside from like a little setup at the beginning that, we're going to go into a scary, spooky horror place. He's trying to do Tarantino with From Dusk Till Dawn, and then also the Klan showing up at the end feels Tarantino as well.
Horrible.
It was a disaster.
I thought it was a technically impressive film in multiple aspects, but yeah, the story wasn't really there for me. I did see a take that said that the reason that the lead vampire was Irish is because Irish are the blackest of the white people, and they like try to make black people feel safe so that the white man can like consume them or something.
What?
I feel like it's just a film that wasn't really made for me. I don't say that very often, but the thing is, I guess that technically, there's nothing that I was super critical of, but just the very Afrocentric nature of it kind of just made me feel like, if I was an American ADOS FBA person, that I might maybe take more away from the film.
What do those
Uh,
letters mean?
Well, FBA, that's the Foundational Black American, ADOS, American Descendant of Slavery.
Yeah, but you're the reincarnation of Elvis, and he was a black man in his soul. So I thought you could relate at least to the musical elements of the
Oh,
film.
yeah, I mean, yeah, the music was good. I enjoyed the
Yeah, that was
music.
the best part for sure.
Mhm.
I
But yeah,
was disappointed because I went into it unspoiled. Actually, I saw a review from Dan Merle, and he replaced the word vampire with cupcake or something like that. Not a EDP reference, but just
What
something
the
else.
fuck?
Because he didn't want to spoil the twist of what the thing was. So I went into it knowing there was some sort of twist that is often seen, but I just didn't know it was going to end up being vampires. And the movie introduces this character. It says he can play music so good that it transcends time. Something, and oh shit, it's going to be like a time travel movie. This will be great. These two twin characters, like, and he plays the music and it can send them through fucking time. You know, maybe go back and like fight slavers or some crazy shit. But no, that's in the movie for literally no reason. They do fucking nothing with it. And then it's vampires for no reason. Fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Well, they do go
Yeah.
through time in that you get to 1992 with an old blues musician and one of Michael B. Jordan's two characters who turns into a vampire, and then suddenly they actually have like conscious thought where they're like, yeah, we just won't attack everybody like we did throughout the rest of the movie as vampires. We'll have a conversation with this one character who got away because fuck it, why not?
In which case, if this is a franchise and the sequels are like the adventures of Michael B. Jordan as a vampire, but he's not attacking people, why am I watching this movie?
Terminator 2. That's what they're going to do next.
So he's going to fight other vampires.
He's going to be Blade. Yeah. There's a lot of problems with the movie. And I like I said, I appreciate the fact that as stupid as the movie is and as sloppy as the movie is, it's still not generic IP dog shit. And it's being successful and it's being way overly heralded to the point where it was like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or something close to that, and people are calling it a masterpiece. And it's just like, is your taste so bad that you can't recognize the issues with this movie? And it wouldn't even commit to this underlying, white people stole music from all the other cultures message that it kind of sets up and then does nothing with. I don't know. It was shit. It sucked. Hans, you should definitely see it.
And you say it's not IP, but think about it. It's a fucking vampire movie. Isn't that genre of it is. It's just a franchise in itself. You might as well make a werewolf movie or any of it. It's all franchises in its own right.
That's a good point. I mean, I guess it would be the same thing if you had like a zombie film or zombie series. You're not deviating too much from something that's been proven successful before, and every element of it feels designed to be a future IP, even more so with the tagged on ending there.
And 60% of the movie is them just dealing with the rules of vampires. Like, oh, they have to be invited in. That's 25% of the dialogue is them arguing with a vampire why they're not allowed into the club.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this almost is just like tapping into things we already know and repeating it with a new.
And it kind of it especially sucks because I felt like the first hour or so, and the movie's too long. The first hour of the movie feels passable to me in being like a period Jim Crow period piece, passable. And as soon as they introduce the vampiric elements, it's like you're in a different. Actually, you know what? The moment it turned for me was the music montage where you have the black musicians through different generations in the club, and it's like, all right,
And that
he's
was
going.
my favorite scene.
Yeah, that's something that's ambitious that Ryan Coogler's going for. But then you have the Chinese white face, and you get the Aztec, and it's just like, this sucks. This is fucking corny. I was ready to walk out.
Do you think this is a case of a director not having someone to tell him that he's doing too much?
No,
Someone to
I
tell him,
think it's a director who has not good taste.
Both the Black Panther movies are terrible.
Yep. Well, I don't know why I've been getting a lot of him on my social media. I feel like he's being pushed in a very unnatural way, which is why I didn't believe the fact that this movie is getting praise from everyone, because that's never a good sign. Whenever it's 100 and everyone says it's a masterpiece, it's usually dog shit. And I've been getting a lot of videos of him just fucking wimpy-eyed, fucking whining about or crying about how, if I didn't make my first movie at 24, I don't know where I'll be. And he's like, yeah, motherfucker. So your best movie was when you had no backing, and now that you have money, you continue putting out bullshit. I don't know if you should be bragging about that. I don't know if you should be talking about how these movies save your life when the rest of movies you put out after that movie has just been corporate garbage. So I don't understand. I mean, knowing what the industry is, you can kind of see why he's being pushed, or he will be pushed as like this new Kubrick-like figure. But anyone,
Kubrick-like.
I mean, the shit that I've seen
What
online
was
about
Kubrick's
this
Black
guy,
Panther 2?
I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm just saying this is the type of praise that I'm seeing online, which makes no fucking sense, because just look at his movies, like what the fuck. But the only reason why I'm interested in seeing this movie is because every time I see one movie that gets praise like this, it's usually bad, and I just want to find out for myself, because everything that I've heard from people that I trust has been that is completely dog shit. And everything that I see from people that I don't trust, that I know have no taste, is the complete opposite. So I'm kind of just curious for myself. But yeah, everything you guys said, it sounds like I would just be very annoyed in the theater. And LowRes, I've seen what that's like. I just throw my hat around and
Literally
start
throwing your hat on the ground.
and
Over
complaining
and
out
over again,
loud.
or just once?
We've only been to the movies. Well, we saw Ralph's movie, so we've been to the movies twice, and it wasn't during Ralph's movie. It was during Clint Eastwood's Juror Number 2.
Oh, I liked that one. That's sad.
He couldn't sanction how simple things were, like typing in the character's name and then husband, and then realizing Nicholas Hoult is the culprit.
Yeah.
Hey, J.K. Simmons was masterful in the film.
He's masterful in every movie where he shows up for 5 minutes.
So we don't get tired of him.
I mean, I like him. I don't think I've reached my cap on J.K. Simmons. I think he's in movies just enough, but he takes too many.
Willem Dafoe takes fucking too many movies.
That's definitely the case.
I think he's getting to that point where it's kind of like, all right, dude, like your shtick is not cute anymore if it's rubbed everywhere. Like, all right.
Well, he's in The Legend of Ochi this week, the new A24 schmaltzy kids film for 40-year-old men.
Is that a monkey movie, or is Ochi not a monkey?
I think it's supposed to be like a Gizmo from Gremlins, where it's like it's not really a creature to Earth, but it's similar.
Oh, and they got a black albino as a girl, or she just looks like that.
Black
is that
albino?
Ochi?
What color is that?
You've never seen a black albino person?
Isn't that most albino people?
No. Like someone that's like African American but albino.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's most albinos.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Helena Zengel was born and raised in Berlin, Germany, and I don't see any inclination that she's anything besides pure German.
Okay, so she's just freaky European then. Not okay. Well,
does that look enough like a monkey to qualify for the Monkey Box movie series I'm doing?
Wasn't there? Hey, there was a monkey in Fred. There was a person in a monkey outfit.
Yeah, it's called the Monkey Butler. Fred he's doing archery, and they tell him, you need to be zen and go to your happy place so you can hit the bullseye. And then he imagines himself having a monkey butler who's jumping all over him while serving him cereal.
Well, we've got your cameo in the Fred reboot figured out.
Yeah.
There it is. You gotta jump
Now,
on me
does he
while you
bring
feed
his
me
fantasy
cereal.
to
Is
life
that?
and I actually exist?
Yeah, but you have to jump on me in my lap.
Yeah,
Feed me cereal
that's
on my
ideal.
face. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm in.
Let's do a lot of preparation and rehearsal for that scene in particular.
What was the other? We originally agreed upon a different YouTuber film before.
Yeah, it was going to be Red Letter Media's Feeding Frenzy.
Ah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
could appropriately
that-
be the name of the scene that we just described there with you and Hans.
Is that one
I
gonna be
think
easier
Fred
to?
3 was overdue, so I'm glad we did this instead.
Is Feeding Frenzy gonna be easier to find than Fred 3? Because Jesus
Oh, I can
fucking
send
Christ,
you
was this
anything.
movie? Okay, this movie was very difficult for me to find.
It was YouTube. It was right on YouTube.
What do you mean? What? No, he wasn't.
Yes, I said earlier I was getting ads during the movie because it's free on YouTube.
Not for me. I guess you have to be in the States probably for that, because that shit did not show up for me. Maybe it's region locked. I had to go to fucking downtown San Jose and go up to one of those little Venezuelan children that have DVDs on a garbage bag on the floor, so that if the cops come, they can just pick them up very quickly. And then I was like, "Hey, do you have Fred 3?" And he was like, "I'm hungry," so I just went home and I found it online.
Oh, okay.
But it was a pain to find. Yeah.
By the way, the
Bumpy,
bum
you
in
should-
this movie, Tracy Walter, is one of Jack Nicholson's closest friends. So I don't know why he's in this movie.
What were you saying,
maybe
Hans?
maybe he's got children and they're fans of Fred.
Yeah.
Even though his children would probably be like 50 when that movie came out.
People would probably best recognize him as Bob the Goon from Batman 1989, the Tim Burton film.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I don't know,
Trivia.
Aggie. Mumkey, I completely lost my train of thought of what I was going to say. So don't come to me.
Well, do we have anything else from Sinners or Fred 3?
Well, what's the next one? Is it going to be Freedom Frenzy? Have we decided?
It could
Are
be.
we or are we stepping into the Linkara universe?
Oh, hey, I saw that somebody had adapted one of the Nostalgia Critic, and I heard about this in passing from some YouTuber, had adapted one of the Nostalgia Critic movies into an anime or animation using AI. And they took all the audio and they applied it into ChatGPT or Higgsfield or one of these engines.
So you want
Is
to
it
rewatch one of those movies in
Oh
an
no.
AI filter?
Well, I think there was a fourth movie we overlooked that we were thinking about watching right at one point, but
What is that called?
I don't know.
A fourth Nostalgia Critic movie?
I think it was a fourth Doug Walker movie. I'm not sure if it was distinctly in the chronology for the Nostalgia Critic. I feel like we saw a Reddit post where people were talking about one that was not part of the trilogy, but existed as like a Wes Craven's New Nightmare meta something.
We're
Should
talking
we just
about
do,
Atop the Fourth Wall, or have we already watched?
I
that
think
one?
I
believe it's Atop the Fourth
Let's do
Wall.
Atop the Fourth Wall, the movie.
Is that the one that we haven't seen?
Yes.
Is that early? Well, where is that?
Let's make sure it's not 5 hours long before we decide on it.
That's exactly what I wanted to check.
Yeah. But I don't
Wait,
think
what?
Doug made it. That's a Linkara movie, right?
Oh, right, yeah. So he would be.
I would just type in Atop the Fourth Wall, the movie.
Wait, what the fuck? He was in a Camila Cabello movie? That's funny. Doug Walker.
We're
Fourth.
taking a look at Doug Walker's IMDb here for the audio only people. Atop the Fourth Wall.
That's a TV series. Where's the movie?
Oh,
So I have the movie open here, and it's noting a runtime of 2 hours.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go.
Manageable.
Damn, it's the most accessible one of all of them.
Well, there's a lot of spin-offs here. What's his name? Who was just on the screen? What's his name? Brad Jones?
Linkara?
No, not
Wait, what?
Linkara. This guy here, who vaguely looks
This
like
guy?
Doug Walker. He's got 2 films as well, which we pulled up the trailers to in the past. I mean,
don't
there's a
think
lot of
that's Doug's
directions.
brother.
I mean, do we really want to I feel like we completed it enough where we can explore other terrain. I would vote for Feeding Frenzy personally before we do a Top the
Yeah.
Fourth Wall or any of the spin-offs.
100%, yes.
Wow, I can't believe this is happening. I've been outvoted 3-1.
I've also discovered, so I haven't discovered them. They've been in the comments on videos we've done before in this series. Red Cow Entertainment does their films. They have some films from 2012, 2013 that are a little mumblecore-y. They're like a moderate-sized YouTube channel. That could be something to explore as well once we get the heavy hitters out of the way.
Are their movies going to be good since they're fans of you?
I think they're fans of you. I don't know if they don't follow me.
They don't?
No, I've seen them in your comment section on our videos. So I think specifically maybe AVGN, but actually I enjoyed one of their at least one of their movies. They're not always like, you know, it's not always super professional, but it reminds me of like mumblecore 2012 filmmaking. It's very DIY, and they did one called Sexually Frank, which I thought, like, in spite of all the technical or financial limitations they had, they did a pretty good job with. So it could be another corner to tap into at some point. They've got like 4 or 5 movies. They worked with Lloyd Kaufman on one. But yeah, another avenue to go.
Before or after we finally watch Hoochie Daddies?
Did you say
Oh,
Red
good
Cow
question.
Entertainment,
Yes.
LowRes?
Or is it Red Cow Arcade?
Yeah, because I went to Red Cow Entertainment on YouTube, and it's just a fat man going shopping.
Yeah, no, that's them. That's them.
Oh, is that them?
Yeah,
Okay.
they see they're one of the few channels that's actually doing like proper
Fat guy
production
shopping
value,
videos?
and yeah, they do series, they do commentary. Of course, everybody has to do commentary on this platform, but they try to put together like actual series where they'll go to the supermarket and check out Box Mac.
Box Mac.
Yes,
What's
every episode they're trying like a new box macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
So they're pretty good. I like them.
I do like to watch people review nominal grocery store cuisine.
Shopping for Mac and Cheese Part 4.
That's right.
Okay.
And
When
this
is the
guy's
next
fat.
Hans movie coming out? Disorderly.
The Hans movie,
Yeah.
probably not this year because I feel like to release 2 movies in 1 year would be unwise.
Well,
but
I mean, you could just release Disorderly this year because we all know the other one's not coming out.
oh, it'll be out. Believe me, it'll be out. It's
I've
been
believed
shown.
you
It's
so
technically
many
it's out.
times.
The people of Rome loved Mass State Lottery.
That's
the
right.
people
How did
of
that go?
I
What was the
believe it
word
went.
back
I
from
didn't listen. I didn't fly to Rome. That would have been like 12 hours in there. Seoul, I'm sure it did gangbusters. You know, the Koreans love me. So I would have to assume. Actually, we got one more festival that is in America that's coming up, and I've been reached out to by a festival director for the Athens Film Festival. I don't know if they want to pick me or not, but why the fuck would they reach out to me and see if this would be like a premiere, a local premiere? So I think it's going to be showing soon at some
Athens,
festivals.
Where? Which state?
What's that?
Athens where?
Georgia.
Shit, I might go to Georgia.
I might go to Georgia. I've never been to Georgia. I'd go to Georgia.
I could meet Tyler Perry, my hero in the film industry.
That'd be perfect. The guy who plays Evans in Mass State Lottery was living in Georgia with the lead actor from the movie Angus. So maybe he'll be in appearance as well. I don't know. But any way to show the movie in the theater without having to pay a couple grand up front sounds good to me. So we'll see what happens soon. But I actually think I'm going to be putting it out on physical media myself later this year, doing like Blu-rays, DVDs, 4K UHD, because I don't trust anybody with the movie as much as I trust myself when it comes to designing a nice little package to put out. So it'll be available soon.
Have we announced the casting updates for Disorderly? Because it might involve some people in this very podcast.
Yeah, there are 2 online personalities that have joined the cast of Disorderly, which is very exciting. Hans, would you like to reveal that?
Beans from our last episode of movies. Beans from Even Stevens has joined the cast.
Oh,
of,
Beans begged to be on the podcast, and we did not reply.
You did not reply. I'm down for having
You don't reply to anybody, though.
I don't reply. No, I do reply. I send emojis, right, Mumkey?
Sure.
Let's just reply with an emoji.
What did I
Yeah,
say to
we're-
you? I can't wait to review Fred 3 with my good friend Hans, and you sent back like a coming emoji or something, like a squirt.
Yeah. That's how I show support. Yeah, we're joined by Mumkey and Eggy in our film. They're part of the
Oh
cast
shit!
Woo, 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 woo.
officially now. Uh,
Be honest, who's acting for their role was better, me or Aggie? We can handle it. We're big boys.
Hans,
I haven't seen haven't seen it yet.
you
but,
acted. You acted with Eggy at least.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And to
Yeah,
the people
so
who
Eggy-
watch the movie,
Aggie
you
put
acted
on
with
glasses to
Mumkey
hide his
too.
tears.
Actually, you're
Yeah,
both terrific in the movie, playing your respective characters there. So we got a fresh. I mean, people don't really know who the character is yet, but we got a fresh voice for Vitaly, and then also Eggy plays an online friend of Hans's character who gets into trouble. Not Ed Rem trouble, a different kind of trouble.
Might be worse, possibly, but either
Aggie's
way.
playing an online troublemaker, huh? Typecast again.
Well, the original idea was slightly different, but I think
Is that
I
when
don't
you
know
were
if it would have
supposed to
been.
like rape and eat us?
I mean, I don't know if you should be spoiling the film.
I thought that was
There's no.
why
I don't
not?
believe there's a rape in the movie. I think that might
that
have
was what
been
the Athens meetup
embellishing.
was going to be about. Just we're trying new things. I mean, it's 2025. Time
Should
Yeah,
I
I don't
check
think
that
it-
out? Is that a spoiler, LowRes? Since I spoiled
don't-
your other movie on a podcast.
I
Well, he
I
didn't
don't
mean
know if
on
I consider
screen,
spoiler.
right?
You know,
No,
it's
he didn't
okay
mean
that
on
I said
screen.
Hans wanted to rape and eat Aggie.
Yeah, he said you meant when we're not shooting, right? Because I
Yeah,
agree,
behind
not
the
on the
scenes.
film.
There's no
Yeah.
shoot. It was just a trap to get them to show up to rape and eat them. Everybody knows that.
Shouldn't have canceled the showing of the film, and you would have had us.
Unfortunately.
It was Hans's fault.
Yeah, we're
missed
gonna have to
out.
wait for Georgia now. It's gonna be sweatier. It's gonna be hotter and sweatier there.
I'm gonna get high like a Georgia pine.
Be juicy like a Georgia peach. You can
That's
figure
right.
out what that means.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, Aggie. We should end the podcast so I can go jerk my big cock. Am I right, boys? You guys have anything else you want to chat about? I know you guys both really loved the Minecraft movie, and Hans was calling me out by name.
Oh yeah, Hans kind of
fucking
like
idiot. He thought Minecraft movie was bad. What an idiot! I mean, I like Monkey. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but he
that's
had
right.
criticism for the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, Mumkey was like, "What is this shit?" And it was like, "Yeah, yeah."
Well, the way that came up on the podcast was a lot like, I was just listening to Is It Kino and their thoughts on the Minecraft movie. And this is unrelated, but I just fucking hate 30-somethings who hate the Minecraft, who can't
That's-
enjoy the
yeah.
Minecraft movie.
I'm 29.
Yeah, I was like fucking Angry Joe, Mumkey Jones, same person. That's what I said. Yeah.
And my favorite part of listening to both of your podcasts is hearing my name pop up sometimes. Because what other podcast opportunity is there to listen to a show that talks about you? Like, it does not come up that often. So I appreciate it. Even if Hans is talking mad shit, it gives it alerts me. If I fall asleep listening to the show, it'll wake me up from my dream, and I get.
Well, I'm glad that you don't get sensitive about it because we have another guest of the show that I can't even mention their name because then they're like, "Oh my god, he hates me," and it's like, "Can you?"
Well, no. There's an unrelated thing that's happening there where Hans, I don't know what the situation is, but old DC, who you had a run in with on Letterboxd, I believe, Mumkey, right? He was threatening to kill you or
had
something.
a guy named CD and a guy named DC commenting on the same review, and I thought that was intriguing. And then one of them threatened me.
Oh yeah, well, DC's got a one-sided feud with you because you won't accept his invitation onto 8 Plates, his
Oh, that's
podcast.
right. He was on your show a few weeks ago, and he was complaining. Yeah, and I messaged you like, "What is he talking about?" I've never got correspondence from him.
I don't know what he's talking about. Now, so there's a
Hold
different
on now.
situation that has occurred here where Hans, I don't know what the truth is here, but Hans has been accused of hiding his Instagram story from DC, and DC said, "What's going on, Hans?" And Hans is like, "I'm old. I don't know how to do
I don't know
that.
how to do that.
But even if I did do that, who gives a shit?"
Yeah, But that's what yeah. Because honestly, like I don't go through the effort of doing that shit for
See, I do,
anyone.
but I don't know. Considering I know that Hans is technically,
Old.
inept.
Yeah.
It's possible, but at the same time, that's very, I don't know, it's strange. It's kind of like, well, what does it matter if I unfriended you from my Facebook? I don't even use Facebook. I don't know how that happened. That's what it kind of feels like.
Well, Eggy, which
Well,
is more
yeah.
pathetic, to hide the story from DC or for DC to care that it was hidden from him? Like, it's high school drama regardless, but I mean, who's the more pathetic of these two pathetic men?
Hey.
I mean, I'm probably gonna say caring about hiding it because listen, there's some times where it'll be like I might post something that is just whatever. I'm gonna forget about it in 10 minutes, but if I post it, then somebody's gonna start replying to it and like keep on pinging my phone. There's actually a lot of people who I just have muted in direct messages, so like they can just reply to it all they want and I'll never read it.
Hans?
But obviously, you
Yep.
wouldn't want to do that with Hans because these are two men who are, peers. They do collaborate. But I mean, I definitely get it. Like sometimes I just want to say something, and there's gonna be one person who has to make a comment about it, and I just don't really feel like hearing it. But I still want to, speak my piece about it because that's if it's on my mind, I just want to say it, and I don't want to have to necessarily engage in some discussion about it in my DM. So yeah, I get it. I mean, if it was something like that had repercussions or something that would be very beneficial for him to see that he's like actively
Well, what was it, Hans?
suffering.
What are you
It
hiding?
was
Yeah, what
You
is
think
the truth
talking
of
shit?
this?
It was a screenshot that I found on I was going through like my Facebook pictures because I was looking for the videos that you've sent me for the series that we're doing. And I saw a photo that you sent me from Disorderly where one of my veins in my head looks like it's popping or about to pop. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll post this image on my stories. And I did. But then LowRes reposted it 24 hours later after, or I don't know if it was after, but it was like when you posted it a little bit afterwards, mine expired. So I guess he thought that LowRes could see it and he couldn't.
Okay, so this is what I thought too, because when DC said this, I was like, well, his expired. It was a day ago. Because
Yeah.
I screen capped it originally to repost, and then I forgot. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just throw that up. However, here's the twist. You reposted my repost, and he couldn't see that.
Ah,
I don't know.
Caught in
that's the face of the
4K.
guilty man.
So what?
Well, hold on,
what is the
but
idea here?
at the same time, I think if I was muting him or whatever the fuck, I think I would also be justified because what the motherfucker did was hold on. What he
It's not
did
happening.
was
Okay, it's
hold
happening,
on.
but it's
It's
good that
not.
it's
No, 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 no,
happening.
no.
This
It's
is
not
already
because I
the
don't even.
biggest scandal since the Kenny imposter. But please go ahead.
It's not because I don't even know how to do it, but he sent in a group chat that I have with LowRes, he sent pictures that he took screenshots of stories that I posted throughout the years, and he was like, "Oh, that's sad." And he started posting photos of me for like months ago, and I was like, "That's
When
fucking
did this
weird."
happen? He did that?
Yeah, it's on the chat there, or
I don't remember
there's
that.
one
Let me take a
story that I
look.
posted. There's a story that I posted once with like the Shrek filter that was up for like half an hour, and he saved it. So it's like, well, if I was to do this, I think I would be justified because I have these fucking
Oh,
creeps saving
well,
my stories,
all right.
right?
Okay. All right. So here's what actually happened then.
I'm not doing it. I want to just because I don't know how. I don't even have the fucking
DC
effort to learn how to do
did
it.
it. I mean, who knows why he saved those? Maybe just a handsome guy is Shrek. I don't know. But clearly you got wigged out by that and were like, you know what? I think I'm good on DC seeing my story because who knows what kind of reasonings he has for doing this. And then
Well,
maybe
no,
you
because
forgot about it.
no, because he sent those as he was complaining about it, right?
Was
So I
it?
wouldn't have. Yeah,
No, I
he
think
sent
this was a
those.
while back, wasn't it?
No, he sent those after you sent me a message saying I think DC thinks that you or whatever, and I was like, what? And then I went to the group that we have with him, and he started sending that, and I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
okay,
I
answer.
see. Okay. No, you're right.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
for
So
any
like,
interested parties out there, if you ever want to hide your story from someone, there's something called restrict. You can go to their profile and click restrict. One of my ex-girlfriends made me do it one time. She said, "You don't have to unfollow this girl, but like every time you post a story, she keeps replying to it, and I don't want her like like DMing you. Like you can follow each other. I won't like make you not follow each other, but you need to go restrict her so she stops replying to your stories. So that's the feature on there. It's not too difficult, but obviously
okay.
Hans didn't do it. He's not that invested. But continue.
Well, that's
Now
an
I
interesting
know.
development.
Now I
So,
know, DC.
yeah,
Now I know how to restrict you.
I wasn't even aware he sent you your story photos. That's a little peculiar, I guess. But it's DC. DC's a peculiar guy. He's got a very unique sense of humor. This guy, I don't know, but that's if you had said that was why, that would make sense to me. But he did it after. You're right.
Yeah, it's not why, because
I don't know.
I still haven't done it.
Can you? All right. How about this? Can you show right now that he's not hidden from your story?
We don't need to do that.
I think we need to do that for my own personal curiosity.
Sure. Let me see.
Who's
You
that
can
guy
say
who
no,
was,
Hans.
looking at the boulders who fell for that trick? What was his name?
Um,
Matt something.
Matt Jarbo.
Matt Jarbo, he fell for that. He's like, no, I would not strike down people's channels. Okay, show us. And then it showed all his strikes.
How do I check restricted?
The notable,
No,
I believe that
see?
was the father
One
of
of- oh,
Digi
fuck, you
Bro's
can't see.
ex-girlfriend's.
One of the
child.
options there on his
Okay,
profile
Click
says
the
restrict.
block button.
The what?
Block button. Click on that.
He's gonna block him. No.
See, but the fact that I have the options there means that I haven't done it.
So
So
hit
he
restrict
can
so we
Okay.
can see that when it's
relax.
restricted, it changes what the button looks like.
Okay,
You can unrestrict him in a moment.
where do we go? There you go. Now
So
he's
you're free.
restricted.
Okay, now turn off the phone.
Yeah.
okay. I mean, maybe what? Maybe DC just didn't have Wi-Fi or something when he was checking. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I think it's unnecessary.
Well, just
Just
it
completely-
ate up about 10 minutes of podcast
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
so
and
I think it was
speaking of
pretty
petty
good.
social media drama, my Letterboxd Simi and Jimmy did get banned, and I do have a new one. Simi
Oh,
and
no.
no, Jimmy and Simi. It's just Simi and Jimmy with the J and the S mixed around. LowRes did find it and follow me back. I don't know if Hans
Yeah, so
has caught on yet.
I heard on your podcast when you were reviewing something what had happened there, and you were saying you got shadow banned. And then I tried to find your profile and I couldn't see shit. So then I went over to, I don't know, somebody's profile and checked their follow list and saw you and that you followed me. I never got notified of any follow from you. And so I found your profile there that way. What happened? Why did you get kicked off of Letterboxd?
They don't tell you. It's just probably a culmination of strikes for saying the word retard in my reviews.
Of course.
Yeah, but really nothing of value was lost. Like, oh, I went from 800 Letterboxd followers to 150. Like, the most insignificant, meaningless thing of all time. I'm getting the exact same number of likes on the fucking reviews anyway. It's not a monetized social media. Like, I literally just want it to log my movies. So I'll keep getting banned 100 times and just keep downloading my data and uploading to a new account. I don't give a shit.
Is there people that care about their letterbox that much?
I care about my log.
No, I mean, like, to take it serious. You know, where if you lose your account, it's like, oh my god.
I think
this
that
is my-
Shay Frillis guy thinks it's the most important thing in his life to have the top review on every movie.
Oh, how sad. It's very sad. Because yeah. I mean, I don't say retarded as much as you, I guess, because I haven't been shadow banned or
Find a
banned
lot
at
of
all,
things
but,
retarded.
yeah. Well,
Any other social medias we should plug before we get going, Hans? What happened to H word name? Now it's Hans versus Hans.
yeah, that's my Twitter.
Right. Why are you fighting yourself?
I couldn't think of anything, and that's my PlayStation Network name. So if you want to play PlayStation with me, you can add that too, and we can play.
Oh, what game?
I don't know.
You play
I don't
Call of
know.
Duty?
I play FIFA. Let's play soccer.
Oh my
Isn't that
fucking
fun?
God.
That's so third world.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been playing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. That's pretty cool. Where you kill people or escape from the house. It's pretty cool.
Can I play as Messi in both games?
You can play as Messi in Fortnite.
Oh,
So that's cool. Yeah.
cool. Kick the ball at people? Is that what he does to kill them? Like Jimmy Kudo?
No, he's just there. He doesn't even have weapons.
What?
Or they, yeah.
They
I don't
put Messi in the game and he doesn't kick shit at people?
Yeah, well, they can't. You can't
He has a
edit the-
gun?
Yeah, they gave him like a pickaxe or something, and
Fortnite is fucking stupid.
yeah, you can't really edit those characters that much and give them different actions, right? Everyone
I
has to do
would.
the same thing, just
Wouldn't that be
different
fun if it
skins.
was like Smash Bros in the Fortnite arena where every character has unique abilities and shit?
Yeah, first person.
Isn't that what that
Uh,
Marvel game is? Like Overwatch with Marvel characters or whatever
oh
that shit?
yeah, yeah. What's it called? Rivals.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
maybe
pretty
I
much what
would
that
like
is.
that
Yeah.
game better than Fortnite. It's
When are we
messy
getting the
and
Fortnite
Marvel
movie?
Rivals. It's got to be coming now that Minecraft's $1 billion winner.
Fuck, didn't made a billion already?
It's about to, I
Nice.
think.
Chicken jockey, right, guys?
That's right.
If I recall, you guys loved that film and shit on
Yeah.
anybody who disliked it.
Hans,
That's
is it
right.
your number one movie of the year?
Jesus, fuck,
Either that
maybe,
or
maybe.
Sinners.
Sinners will be when I see it. Uh, I don't know. Honestly, from 2025, I don't think it's definitely up there. Um, how many more 2025 movies have we seen?
Well, I know how many I've seen. I don't know how many you've seen.
I think I've seen
Mickey
like 4.
17,
Yeah.
Novocaine.
Nope.
No.
Baby
Not much.
Invasion?
Sneaks.
Oh, baby. Yeah, that piece of shit. Baby Invasion or whatever that was.
Subservience. What was that robot movie that sucked?
Oh, you know that movie was written by the writer of Fred 3, by the way?
Okay, yeah, I watched that right before we decided on Fred 3 tonight. So I did a Drew Goddard double feature, I guess. Companion.
Companion, yeah.
Drew
He wrote
Goddard?
that poorly written both times. He's not improved.
Fred, you have to have the right expectations. I'd say Fred was decently written for a Fred movie.
Fred has word for word the joke. He is right behind me, isn't he?
I noticed
Twice.
that, yeah.
Twice. The shit that I think I've made the same speech before. The shit that we attribute to Marvel for being bad dialogue is just what the Fred movie is. Literally.
The Croco Musa Bear was Kino though. I mean, like I liked when he did the hip hop song. You know, that was it's not usually my cup of tea, but the design of the costume, it worked for me. Also,
Yeah,
I just found out that Sneaks is on Cam Rip, so I'm definitely going to be watching that after this podcast, so I can have finally one good movie that came out in 2025.
Yeah,
you get
Hans, you
less
gonna see
John
Sneaks?
Cena and you get more practical effects, more monster effects in Fred.
Yeah.
I
Hans,
did
are you
like
gonna see
how
Sneaks, the cartoon about talking sneakers, Eggy?
Sneakers, yes, a young African American male, he wants to be a basketball player, and somehow magical sneakers are involved with that. It's voiced by a lot of rappers.
Isn't that just
So,
like Mike from
This is
Lil Bow
animated.
Wow?
yes.
Oh,
It's got that
God.
low frame rate animation that's trendy right now, that Into the Spider Verse animation or whatever.
Mm.
I will say one other good thing about Fred 3. Yeah, so John Cena appears and he can't give Fred any good advice, so you like get stuck in this kind of thought loop where he's like trying to think of something to help Fred. And while he's trying to do the thinking, he just keeps on like body slamming Fred into a bunch of stuff that's like random debris that's piled up over by the camp because it's a low quality camp. It's full of garbage everywhere. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I do like watching Fred get injured. Any final thoughts from you, LowRes? Before we
Best
wrap up your
Fred to
favorite
date.
YouTuber movie of all time.
I think it is. I mean, honestly, I'd have to take a look at the list, but this feels like it's firing from all cylinders in terms of, all right, well, it was short, it was entertaining, it was a big improvement from Fred 2. It did the things in Fred 1 better. The only real gripe I have with these Fred movies, and this one is no exception, is that nobody on the camera crew had an ND filter at any point. For whatever reason, there are so many overexposed shots. They're just like, if they're shooting outside, you have the character in the foreground. In the background, you'll have characters, but then it'll just be like white. It'll be way blown out for some reason. And I've noticed that with all 3 Fred movies. I've noticed it with, for whatever reason, I've been recommended a lot of Drake and Josh documentaries on YouTube, the history of their friendship, the
You
downfall of
should
their
go
friendship.
to mysweetmonkey.com if you're into Drake and Josh.
I'm not into Drake and Josh. I'm just, it's been recommended to me. They're trying to get me into Drake and Josh. I've watched like 3 hours of them talking to each other on their podcast too. But, that's another thing. I've noticed it with that as well. So just for children's television in the aughts. That seems to be a thing. The best Fred, some of the best comedy in any of these YouTuber movies. It's good.
What about Stupid Mario Brothers the movie? Is it better than that?
That was horrible. That was fucking terrible. You can't gaslight me into
Wow.
thinking I thought that was good. You said that was the
Lightsaber
best
fights.
one,
This
didn't
had
you?
Literally fucking nothing. On my Letterboxd, I have a list ranking all the YouTuber movies, and I have Mass State Lottery number 1. Number 2 is Stupid Mario Brothers the movie. That's how low the bar is,
My God. And you just gave Fred a 1.5 stars?
which it deserves.
That's too critical.
It's the highest of the 3 Freds, and it's 1.5 stars. Hans, am I crazy? Am I speaking perfect sense right now? Because I feel like I am.
Yeah, I don't think I would give him more than that.
You have the first Fred is the worst of the YouTuber movies?
It's 0.5 star. It's unwatchable.
That's crazy. That's insane. Over
It does not
wasted
help that
hours.
we couldn't find a real copy, and it was just like zooming into the corner.
I think
LowRes, did you even give a star rating, you coward?
I've been trying to veer away from giving star ratings because, movies are complex and my feelings on movies change frequently. So if I had to give a star rating, what did I give Fred 1? I think I gave Fred 1 3 stars. Yeah, I did.
Jesus.
I gave Fred 2.
And this one's much, much better? You're saying this is like a 4 or a 4.5?
No.
movie?
Hold on, slow down. I didn't say 4. Spiritually, this is a solid 3.5 star movie, I would say.
Here's my thing, okay? Fred 3, it is, if we're going to take the baseline of just your average film, the way that it's meant to be enjoyed, then in that case, I'll say this is vast improvement and is definitely the best of the 3 Fred movies. But the way I like to enjoy the Fred movies is the this unhinged, deranged look into a mentally ill man's mind. And so for those reasons, I think the other ones were more. The first one might have been the most Kino to me just because of how deranged he is. Because that's what I enjoyed about this. It's I think probably about 70% of the way through, it was kind of just hard for me to focus. Like once I figured out that there was no grand scheme for Tom Arnold to be kidnapping children and eating them, and it's like, oh, never mind, this is just our cool hangout lair. But now we're gonna defeat the other camp in the talent show or whatever. It's like, yeah, that was cool, but I guess it was missing some of that unhingedness. I mean, there was unhingedness, but it wasn't tracking for me for the reasons why I enjoyed like the other Fred films. So on an objective baseline level, it was better. It was very probably middle of the road for me among the YouTuber films when we have things like Not Cool and Smosh the Movie, Mass State Lottery. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. I was feeling maybe like a 2.5 out of 5 on it, somewhere in that ballpark.
I just realized I gave Not Cool a 1.5 stars. I feel like I have to revise that because I feel like that was a more favorable YouTuber movie. Maybe that's going to be 2 stars for 2.5.
While we're editing, go fix your The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle score, because I mean it was unfair what you said about it.
No, it's still terrible. It's a horrendous movie.
You have not rewatched it since childhood.
But I know in my bones.
Innovative and brilliant that film is. One of
Is
the
that the live
funniest
action
movies
one?
of the year
Yes.
came out. Yes, it's
The
live
De
action.
Niro
man,
one.
I used to love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love that movie.
Maybe
LowRes is a
future
hater.
episode.
LowRes went through movies that he hadn't seen in 20 years and just gave them 1 star on Letterboxd because he wanted to fill up his profile.
Here's the
Fucking
thing.
pathetic.
I like the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon, and when that movie came out, I was excited for it. I rented it from Blockbuster, and
you laughed your ass off because it's a great film.
and not once did I even smirk at that movie. It repulsed
Keenan and
me.
Kel showed up as themselves.
It wasn't enough.
I'm just getting so disappointed in LowRes today. We're gonna have to find something that we agree on in the future. Hans
bringing
used to be my
Kenny.
enemy, and now he's
We're
my
gonna
new lover.
bring in
and now
Kenny
I-
to replace LowRes so you can have the experience of trying to record audio with Kenny.
Speaking of which, LowRes, you teased it at the beginning, and now it's so far into the podcast. Who's still listening? Do you want to tell us about this Kenny drama?
Oh yeah, Kenny. So Kenny hopped on somebody's account I thought this was another scam imposter situation because I messaged him immediately, but somebody called AGM Sway, who's I guess a rap guy or I don't know. Kenny messaged me saying, "Yo, what's a good fam? It's Kenny. Found a new avenue. I'll hit you up on my account, but Pete Pics homeboy sends." And no pics were ever sent. And this was sent on some random account called AGM Sway. And I didn't get anything back from Kenny. Now, the next day, he's like, "Oh, yeah, that actually was me on his account." So Kenny's using different people's accounts. Now I don't know what to believe regarding this whole Discord black penis situation.
Maybe Kenny's trying to see Hans's story and he thought he was.
Yes, yeah. It could be that. It could very well be that. I don't know. I let DC know immediately. I said, DC, he showed unrestricted, for your profile. DC said nothing so far. So we'll see where this develops, but I'm sure he won't believe that.
Yeah, of course not.
No, I think there's going to be a fight. I think you just drew a line in the sand permanently with DC.
You've been posting Kenny episodes of B-Bang recently, but Hans is never on them. Is there any way?
Kenny's more available than Hans. Hans reschedules every show we try to record.
That's not true. I was here to record that episode.
Nah,
and then you were like,
nah,
you were
nah,
like,
nah, nah.
Kenny's on the weight room. And then I was sitting here and then you're like, oh, he left. So won't record.
Yeah. So you had to go drive with your mom abruptly. And then Kenny was like, yeah, hey, I'll hop on in a second. And then Kenny's phone died. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm not hanging out on Zoom by myself. But we did record an episode, I think the following day. It was set up to record. Hans was rescheduled. And then Kenny hopped in. So...
Yeah, the difference between me and Kenny is that I have a job that I have to go to don't go to.
That you walk to from your bed to your desk.
Yes, that I sit on the same desk that I'm sitting on right now. But, yeah, that's not true.
It is true. I got the episode with Kenny. It's factual, but that's all right. I think Kenny's probably bound to make an appearance on movies at some point this week. Now that we've made nice with each other, so.
Is he actually going to watch a movie?
The last time we had him on, he did pick the movie and he watched the movie. I mean, the trick there is...
Was that Steve Carell?
Yes, that was the Beautiful Boy episode.
Yeah.
Classic Beautiful Boy episode.
He said nothing about the movie, but... So it doesn't matter if you see.
Well, the last episode, we were digging into a Mama June from Here Comes Honey Boo Boo's crack history. I feel like that sect of television might be more up his alley. So maybe we do something in the realm of TV shows with Kenny. That might be more of a banger. He loves anime.
Would he be interested in Hoochie Daddies?
I've told him about Hoochie Daddies before.
I
feel like
get his reaction to at least episode 1.
We could probably arrange something. It's on Tubi, I think that's easy. Well, we can set that up. We can discuss. We can make the arrangements off mic.
I don't need to be there. I just want to watch it happen. So I'm putting it in your hands. I feel like Kenny wouldn't like me, and I don't really like me either. So it makes sense. I want to watch him. I don't need to talk to him.
Well, Kenny historically gets along with pretty much everybody. I don't know if there's really been a feud that's broken out with Kenny and anybody else. I think the closest thing was Kenny getting frustrated that we ended our 3-person podcast, Old Boys, because Hans just reached his cap in terms of recording capacity with that man.
I mean, that's not what happened, but...
What happened with Old Boys?
I don't know.
That's literally what happened with Old Boys. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, B-Bang, I guess, is kind of Old Boys, but the Kenny disappeared.
But it's
so we'll
the
just do
recording
ourselves,
quality's 100% better. Yes.
And then he came back and tried to join.
Hans,
show.
you're like the centerpiece of drama this episode. It seems like.
I guess drama that I'm not even doing anything. I'm just okay.
Hans ignites the drama and then walks away from the drama.
Yeah, I'm the Joker, baby.
I have to assume Hans is in the wrong for all of these because he's the common denominator here.
Yeah, many people believe that. Many people will be wrong every time.
I think it's just DC believes that.
Yeah, I don't bother anyone. I don't even message anyone. I don't talk to anyone. I don't listen to anyone. I'm just here being a third world country little Mexican boy, hurting no one, not hiding stories from men. The
Have the
fuck?
tariffs affected your life on a personal level yet?
Not yet, but the fact that the American dollar is not worth as much as it was a couple of years ago, it definitely is because I get paid by an American company, so that sucks. But besides that, nope, not really. I've started ordering things from Temu though, so maybe that. But then
Yeah, I've been
again,
seeing a lot of screenshots of like $40 fees on Temu now.
yeah, but then again, I don't think those tariffs will impact me because I don't live in the States, right? So if I'm importing anything here, I don't think it matters. It's just you guys that are
Yeah, it would
fucked.
be if you ordered from the United States.
Yeah. So I'm good. I'm good ordering garbage on the internet. I'm still free to order.
All your
Well,
garbage comes from China.
Yeah.
well, our Fred review is 20 minutes longer than the movie. So should we cut it here, boys? Do you have
Holy
anything else?
smokes. No, I think that's it. Right?
We'll see you next
Go
time
check
for
out
Feeding Frenzy.
Feeding Frenzy's up next. Yes.
Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna have dinner.
That's right.
All right. That's one for the books.
Peace, people.